Hi you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Okay, if you're new here, then welcome. It's always great to have new people. All right, and welcome back to the OGs. Let's see what the message is for you. If you're seeing this message, this is a timeless reading, meaning it can resonate today, tomorrow, next year. All right, so let's see. First, gonna cleanse the energy within and around. My intention to use this sage is to cleanse the energy within and around me, removing all stagnant and negative energy, so I can provide an accurate message for the collective who's meant to see this. Sharing, sending gratitude to my spiritual team. Alright, on the back of the deck it says breakup, separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment, and abandonment. You guys could be doing this or experiencing this. But first I want to start off with some not oracles, some tarot. No music today. So that could be a confirmation for some of you guys to, of course, at times listen to your music that's good for the mind, body, and soul, and to also allow yourself quiet time to hear your thoughts, or to, you know, just quiet the mind, body, and soul. Maybe get into some meditation. But all right, let's see. There's an energy within and around me. I can have no energy of this deck that is not serving me or my highest good. Connecting with my spiritual team to help me with messages for the collective. Using intuition as always. Thank you for double tapping the screen. Hi. Alright, you guys, if you're not able to stay for the full message, it will be uploaded to my YouTube. Alright, if you're just not joining, we're doing a message for the collective. You can take it if you want. Make sure you only take what resonates. I'm doing great. How are you? Welcome back in. Alright. What is the message here for the collective? Let me get some water first. What is the message for the collective? Eight of Swords. When I seen on the back of the deck earlier, we were talking about, we got the axe coming out. Okay, it says breakup. So some of you guys could be going through a breakup. Maybe you're contemplating on a breakup. Some of you guys are in separation. Maybe you're in your head as well when it comes to this. Maybe you're thinking about the person that you're separated with. Maybe you're thinking about, is it a good idea to reconnect? Is it a good idea to stay disconnected? All right. Then I'm seeing stop the pattern. So for some of you guys, you get into this breakup, reconcile energy, and you're being encouraged to stop the pattern. If you broke up with somebody, you broke up with them for a reason. If they're an ex for a reason. Okay. If you're done with your ex, move on to the next. That's what I'm thinking of. But It also says silent treatment. So some of you guys could be giving somebody the silent treatment, but you can also be in your head about, should I stop giving them the silent treatment? Like, should I go ahead and break no contact or whatever the case may be? And like I told you, stop with the patterns, okay? If you disconnected from them already, you may end up disconnected from them again, because 9 times out of 10, you're not the problem. They still have work that they need to do that keeps them from being a good candidate for a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a husband, a wife, okay? So you're not tripping. I understand, like, sometimes the divine feminines and the divine masculines, we're so loving, we're so caring, especially when we get our hearts involved with people. You know, imagine being an earth angel, starseed, you know? So sometimes you get into this space to where you're like, I know my worth and I deserve better than this. You know, this person may be emotionally immature. They may still have some work that they need to do, you know, heal. They may need to do this and do that. You know, a lot of work that you don't necessarily have to, like, do, you know, because you can be a person that can give and receive love, right? Maybe there's some things that you do need to work on. I don't know you or your story, right? You know you better than I do. But speaking from my own experience, I'm a wise counsel. It's like you break up with people for a reason, and I feel like you only reconcile with them because maybe comfort zone, maybe you get lonely, maybe you balance out different beliefs like psychology and spirituality, and like you're in this space to where you feel more accessible to reconnect with them. Then you realize, oh, I still need to heal from you. Or you realize, oh, you haven't changed at all. So that's the pattern, that's the cycle. 9 times out of 10, you're probably trauma bonding with these individuals, okay? We have abandonment here. Maybe some of you guys are in your head like, does ghosting them mean that I abandoned them? Some of you guys probably were abandoned before in your life. If it wasn't from this person, maybe it was from someone else, parents, friends, lovers, right? My thing is, when people do you an injustice in your life and they're corrupted, nothing that you do that stands for self-respect and, you know, finally choosing yourself is abandonment, right? Because 9 times out of 10, you gave people countless amounts of chances, right? Thank you for the gifts. So the reason why I say all of this is because when I looked at the back of the deck for the oracles, we were talking about the axe energy, and now when I'm using the tarot, we got the 8 of swords, which a lot of times can be you putting yourself in this mental prison, right? You're living rent-free in your head, and you probably have excessive thoughts, right? You're probably thinking excessively, or you have thoughts from back to back to back. You just can't get out of your head, right? So this is self-imposed. That's why the 8 of swords is usually self-imprisonment. You could be isolating yourself and restricting yourself at the same time. So it says, you may feel restricted and powerless, but these are things that you have imposed on yourself. You may have to face a difficult decision, but you must release those constraints before doing so. Be honest with yourself. So to make your choices more easier, all right, to help yourself not even fall into like a pattern or this energy of, I was thinking victim, but now when I try to use the word, it like doesn't, I'm like, well, why would I use victim? But I kind of forgot my train of thought while I was going to say that. Oh, okay. Keeping yourself from feeling powerless, victimizing yourself. Because in reality, you're not powerless. In reality, whatever you're going through, you're probably looking at it from a standpoint that's keeping you in this overthinking energy, worrying to death, when in reality, there's nothing to really worry about. It's just your own thoughts, right? Is interfering with a lot. If you guys are wanting to get on the list for your own message, because this is a collective, this message may not resonate for everyone, may not be for everyone. If you can't afford my prices, I do have donation based, which is anything that you're able to afford. some of you guys could be avoiding confrontation as well. So a lot of you guys, this can tie to multiple connections, multiple relationships. For some of you guys, maybe it's that one person in particular. But with the Five of Wands coming out in reverse, if I wasn't using this deck, I would say that you're actually moving into a more peaceful, serene life with the people that you have detached from or cut off. But with this deck that I'm using, it gives you its own keywords. And this says avoiding confrontation. So I feel like some of you guys could, I don't know if you see those psychologists or those doctors who make these videos and they tell you, you may not know this, but you may be emotionally or boom boom bam. They give you like different diagnosis almost, and you probably like, well damn, you know, I resonate with that so much and I didn't know I had that, or whatever the case may be. It's kind of like when you go through a lot of things in life, whether you've been bullied, whether you don't speak up for yourself anymore because of something that happened to you in your past that probably when you did speak up, you probably got in trouble for it, or you probably were embarrassed, or you know, whatever the case may be. And it may have led to hindering you in your adult life to where you kind of, you know, do the same thing. Or I don't want to say the same thing, because of course when you tried to do it when you were younger, you operated in that space. So maybe things that you don't do anymore because of the consequences that you've experienced, right? In reality, that's just suppressing who you are, and that's probably holding your spirit, your soul back, which is you, from operating in authenticity, right? So maybe some of you guys dealt with conflict in your life that may have striking fear, worry, anxiety. You worrying about, oh, well, if I cut this person off, what will be the consequences? If I stop talking to this person, what will be the consequences? If I speak my mind, what will be the consequences? Because some of you guys may be dealing with not just a lover who you feel like, oh, I'm going to speak my mind, but maybe, you know, a parent who you still have this wound towards, right? Maybe you were raised in a certain space where you couldn't really speak your mind. It was deemed as disrespectful, or whatever the case may be. For others, if it's like romance and you still feel scared of conflict or this and that, maybe you feel guilty of walking away from someone, or maybe this was a controlling situation that may have even become domestic, right? Abusive in different ways to where you actually do fear the other person. Our lives are very different, but we can all be in the same collective. So just be mindful to just take the messages how it resonate for you. I do apologize for you guys to experience the things that you've experienced when you were children, and whatever you're going through as adults, right? Know that you are not alone. And if you feel you don't have any community, it's always good to build community online as well, or to put yourself out into the world and connect with people who have like-minded energy. All right? Not narcissists, not people who have who are closed-minded, not, you know, just basically people who are like you know, nurturing, caring, loving, non-judgmental. You know, we think that these things are rare, but in reality, they're not. I recall myself, you know, I just turned 24 on the 18th of May, and I thought to myself, dang, I wasn't, I never given my heart a break. And I feel like that's because, of course, when you're in school, there's a bunch of people around. They're around your age. It's not like when you grow up, especially if you grow up and you don't really, you're more of a homebody, right? And maybe that's only because of the things that you went through. Sometimes you think you're so introverted when in reality you're extrovert, but you just went through a lot of things, so now you got PTSD. But anyways, I was like, man, I never gave my heart a break. And it's crazy because this month I started really thinking the only reason why I probably got into relationships anyway was because I was at school. And I also was told I couldn't have a boyfriend until like a certain age. So it's crazy because I think now that it's a little, I don't want to say less, I don't want to use the word easy to get into a relationship, especially if you do not be outside like that. Not that I really care about being in a relationship, because I just got out of this connection. So I'm really not even interested in connecting with more people, because I learned the lesson to, you know, heal, not have another connection, enjoy time alone. But the point that I'm making is, damn, what point was I making? But it was just the thought. I was like, me not being outside, me keeping to myself, I see why a lot of you guys may feel lonely or alone. And you may look back then like, well, I used to have the girlfriends, I used to have the boyfriends. I remember it was a time I never really gave my heart a break. And I feel like the difference is, it's because you were in school, surrounded by a lot of other people your age who had hormones, okay? Or whatever the case may be. I feel like that's probably why it was so easy for me to be in connections back to back. I don't want to say back to back, like I was just in that thing like swimwear. But when I was younger, I couldn't have a boyfriend around this time, but I still did. This was a boyfriend from 6th to 8th grade. And then I got into another grade level, which was of course high school. Me and the first person, we just stopped talking. Like, nobody broke up with no one. We just stopped talking. And the other, I think it was 9th, 10th grade. And then went to another school. Broke up with that person though, because they disrespected me, right? And then this was a person that I ended up marrying. And we dated 11th, 12th grade. And then of course got married, or whatever case may be. A person that I divorced. Now, as you can see, school is you just a bunch, you run a bunch, and mind you, I'm a woman, and you're dealing with little boys with hormones, who probably also been peer pressured to have all the bitches, right? I'm not a bitch, but that's what they call us, honey. Anyways, I was not thinking in the aspect of, you know, protect your heart, you know, do this, do that. I'm just thinking of the fairy tale movies and how, ooh, I like him and he likes me, so let me go ahead and give them a chance. I guarantee you, every relationship I was in, I was love bombed. So I most definitely, like, when it came to, I don't really recall how the 6th through 8th grade relationship went, but when it came to the 9th through 12th relationships, these two people, I turned them down when they asked me out, but then I ended up giving them a chance, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, for any of y'all feeling like, dang, am I ever gonna find my soulmate? Like, da-da-da. Sometimes you have to just, I feel like regardless, whatever is meant for you, you won't really miss out on it. But I feel like you're also being encouraged to, you know, give your heart a break, heal, get a chance to really know yourself, because a lot of times when you're in the world, you have siblings, you have the parents, you have society, you go to school, you're always around people, you're always talking to people. So I feel like this is you coming into who you're truly meant to be, because you know, like how energy could be contagious, right? Excuse me, imagine being around somebody for a while and you start picking up their traits. It's like similar to that. So it's really good to be in your own energy. You know, you come to really realize how great you are and how less exhausting it is to be the emotional intelligent one in the connection, to be the, you know, mature one, to be the caring, nurturing one who is more of the romantic, like, you know. So don't ever think, oh my gosh, it's so much harder in my adult life. It's really not. I just feel like it was very much easier for you to attract people because that's all that was around. Plus you were like younger and didn't really know any better. But now you're older and you know a lot better, and you probably are going Like, you probably are just trying to live, right? And also heal from the things that you went through, or at least trying to survive from those experiences that you've had. But you got to remember that life is supposed to be good. It's supposed to feel good. It's supposed to be something that you are content with leaving behind when it's time for you to go, but at the same time not so in a rush to leave anyway. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired of Earth, I'm ready to get up out of here, you know, because you've also come here for a human experience, but in a good way as well, you know. But I know I started going way off into another area, but it was some type of point that I wanted to make, but I guess I tried to make it as much as I could, honey. So yeah, it was something else I was gonna mention, but it's okay. So I feel like some of you guys, you be in your head a lot, giving yourself anxiety, when in reality there's nothing to worry about, and you're only creating this worry and intense anxiety because of your own thoughts. You gotta stop overthinking. You gotta get out of your head, okay? And it's not okay to avoid confrontation. You gotta know that regardless, you're protected. And if you ever feel like when you speak up for yourself, when you're celebrating your accomplishments, whatever the case may be, that you will be able to stir up conflict, then that's a problem, right? That means that maybe you're being positioned to cut people off, leave some places behind, you know, turn those weaknesses into strengths. Like, it's something, because why compromise your personality, your authenticity, what's like who you are, and like, don't dim your light, don't tuck your tail behind your legs or through your leg. Like, you know, you don't need to avoid confrontation because you're protected. Nothing bad is gonna happen to you. I understand you may have seen a lot of bad things, or you may have already experienced some type of bad things to where you feel like, well, at this point, I know that this exists. So to keep my life in a more stable energy, to keep me from having intense anxiety, to keep me, then I'm going to compromise, or I'm going to lower my standards, or I'm going to just let my parents talk to me any type of way. You know, that's not what you came here to do. And I don't care how old somebody is, 60, 80, 50, 40, and you could be in your 20s, teen, 30s, whatever it is. Keep respecting yourself. Don't settle for less. You can create the life that you want to live. I feel like things that happen that's uncomfortable for you is meant to be that way, because a lot of times we turn our weaknesses into strengths like that. A lot of times we stand in our power like that, okay? So if you got to break up with somebody and cut them off, don't think, oh, well, my mom stayed in that relationship since she passed away. That's only because your mom probably didn't know what you knew right now, or didn't have the support system when she was younger, or when he was younger, if it's father figures, whatever the case may be. Or if you're orphans, you know, apply it to how it fits. So don't compare yourself to everybody else. Your life is not meant to look like everybody else's life. You're meant to be different. You're meant to, it's just, you have big things ahead of you, right? But being this scared little person in an adult body, that needs to be changed. Being this person who has clarity, has the intuition, but still, you know, lives in denial or indecision or high hopes for the wrong people. Gotta stop doing that. For people who are extremely intelligent, who just live in their mind rent free because they're trying to hold on to a person that they love. Baby, I don't know if you heard that quote, but sometimes love is not enough. Love is not enough all the time, because guess what? What actually love is enough. Because guess what? The people who we're referring to when we say love is not enough, they really don't know what love is anyway. So in reality, love is enough. You need to attract people who know how to give and receive love. The problem is, since you were younger, You was always attracting the opposite. Now you know better and you see the signs, and now people also resonate with you who also experience these things. Now we have technology. Now we can put up online, oh yeah, this is called a narcissist. Oh, this is called, oh, if you act like this in a connection, you have anxiety from this person. Like, it was hella terms for things, right? And I feel like a bunch of people that wanted control, that wanted to be in this certain power, that wasn't qualified enough to do so because they didn't have human decency, they didn't have morals, they didn't have integrity. Of course they wanted you to not speak up for yourself because it doesn't serve them, right? Of course they didn't want you to break up with them because now they can't reap the rewards of a good, loving person. You know what I'm saying? So it's like sometimes you just gotta put yourself first. All the time. Not sometimes. You gotta put yourself first. And you gotta really, because I know some readings, they talk about twin flames and soulmates and the karmics. And sometimes you get caught up in those type of things. But what if a person is doing you so wrong and they're deemed as a twin flame? You come across a reading and they're deemed as a twin flame. That's going to put you in this pattern of, well, they're my twin flame, so I guess I got to do the... I ain't doing none of that, okay? My thing is, when I start realizing, just like how religion was created by human beings, so has a bunch of other things, right? So sometimes you just got to go based off of you. Sometimes you're going to be the one to make your own grimoire and your own traditions, right? Just like everybody else did. Sometimes you have a whole country of people, the blind leading the blind. Now everybody know what Christmas is. Everybody know what Halloween is. It's crazy. But somehow they don't know what certain herbs is that can heal incurable diseases, right? Incurable. Somehow they didn't know about this, about that. You know, so sometimes you just gotta stop listening to everybody else and doing what everybody else do. Because 9 times out of 10, they're following behind the next person. They pick that up from a whole nother. See, you didn't have to learn things out of a book. That was you just naturally that. And people hate that. That's why whoever created Nobody's Perfect, they was mad because they seen people that were of greatness. But everyone can be of greatness. You know, God is within all. Anybody can have this type of energy or power, but it's up to them, you know? So some people get jealous, they get envious, they tell you, oh, you think you all that, you're not perfect, you're not you're not a saint and all this stuff, but that's only them projecting how they feel about themselves. So sometimes you just got to have your own mind. The proof is in the pudding. You got people who over here in presidential status who should not be a president. Should not. Okay? Thank you, honey. So that's what I mean when I created the saying that you are more qualified than those who are qualified. You know, sometimes you just gotta wake up, get off the hamster wheel, get out of the matrix. So you are already really there, but you can't go backwards is the thing. So maybe that's why some of y'all get into this dark night of the soul, or you start battling with who you are, what's your beliefs, is this even real, like all this stuff. But don't worry, even though that seems like a very long ass journey, I had to go through it myself to even talk about it. That's why I say I'm a wise counsel. I can't speak on anything I don't really, nobody can really talk about things that don't exist to them, right? If there's a word in the if there's a word in the world that I've never heard, never seen, baby, I won't be able to say it. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, unless I just created it or something, But this is just an example. So it's like I speak of wisdom, which is experience. I speak of experience. And child, a lot of people gonna tell you, don't go in that ocean. That shark gonna bite you. Whole time it's a such place as what is it? What is Atlantis called? The underwater world or something. Who knows if it's true or not, honey? I don't know. But it's just like all these things. Then you got the scientists who all of a sudden want to come and say, oh, you can do this. You can do. But what happened till we can't do that? That's when I remember before, like years ago, when I found out scientists really only go based off of educated guesses. I'm thinking, educated guess. So you really don't know, no. You just guessing in an educated way. So my thing is, oh my gosh, my head itch. Child, look, you just gotta go on what feels right to you. That's why you can be misled in this world. You see how much chaos and destruction and all this stuff is going on in the world. But I promise you, this can still lead you on a path to who you're truly meant to become. Imagine growing up in the world thinking that everything that you learned, that you was taught, life is all a dream, right? It can be, though. And then you realize that there's liars, that there's abusers, in any type of way. And you realize that it can be from your own parents, your own teachers, your own judges, your own police system, your own presidents, your own government. And you just looking like, bro, why am I here? But that's probably why a lot of people feel like, oh, well, you're here to uplift the world and da-da-da with humanity and like all this stuff. And then some people just get to a point to where they like, hey, look, y'all on y'all own. Hell, I didn't figure it out. You figured it out. At this point, I'm finna isolate myself. I'm finna go live in the mountains. You know, that's why you're gonna see you have some people who really be doing that. Then you got other people, because I'm telling you, beliefs, they're not facts, right? But they are very powerful, because what you believe in, you bring to reality. So you have people who actually believe in a lot of things that, oh, I come here for a reason. I'm supposed to do this and do that. That's why I no longer preach to people about things that is just a belief of mine, you know, because I don't like to project on people. So even if I believe it to be true, I'm not going to say it's just true for everybody, because that's probably not the case. So that's why I say you can believe in the twin flame thing, you can believe in the karmic thing, or you don't have to. You can believe in God, or you don't have to. You can believe in this, you can believe, or you don't have to. Like, that's you, that's your life. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, if you're going to believe in anything, I say this all the time, make sure it's positive. Make sure it doesn't restrict you. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be free. You're supposed to operate from a place of knowing, not following behind everybody else. That's why we all got our own mind. We're autonomous. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I really wish y'all the best, you know. It's fine if you want to get inspired to listen to other people, but you just can't allow yourself to be projected on. And like I said, sometimes you can be in a world where you can have misleading information, false information, and you can still reach the version of yourself that you're meant to become, even being misled, even being misguided, even believing in things that may or may not be true. So that's why I say, hey, regardless, I feel like you'll get to where you're going. But it's probably what they mean by it's a journey, you know? So don't try to hurry up and get to the finish line. But, because you're going to get there. But, I don't know. Just make sure life is not stressful. Just make sure you're not in your head all the time trying to avoid conflict. You know, that's not freedom. And you come here to be a free spirit, right? To roam the world in the physical, to have these experiences. But some people just now in the energy of, well, you got to take the good with the bad. And like, I don't know, it's just such a negative connotation now, you know? And sometimes you deal with a lot of people who are just so heartless. You know, racism is still a thing. It's just very, that's why I learned to help a person with a big heart, a good heart, you got to walk in the world not taking everything too personal. You know what I'm saying? Because 9 times out of 10, you're a person that probably forgives or not really hold grudges, I should say. And you'll always have this, like, you don't have hate in your heart. You have love, you know. And love is of forgiveness as well. Of this, of that. So, I don't know. Just don't stress yourself out with little dusties, okay? Or with ignorant people, or... That's why I don't do the arguing no more, because I already overstood a long time ago. It's no point in arguing with somebody, because I was once religious and nobody could tell me nothing about what I believed in. Somebody tried to tell me their point of view. They wasn't religious. I'm in high school. Remember it. I had to be in 9th or 10th grade. They tried to tell me something. I don't want to hear it, bro. Instantly closed-minded. You know what I'm saying? Because, of course, the religion I was in, Christianity, it teaches you there's only one God and, you know, boom, boom, bam, and all this stuff. So when I tell you beliefs are power, that's what I mean by beliefs are not facts, but they can be powerful. You know what I'm saying? My whole life was shaped around that. I'm God first. You know what I'm saying? Family second type stuff. But I mean, I guess it's fine to know about God, but this was a very specific, it was Christianity. It was a, what they call it, not controlled religion, but, I don't even know what they call it, I forgot. But yeah, these things that were just created by fellow human beings who weren't as qualified as you were, honey. So just follow that inner compass, inner guide, and you'll be all right. Sometimes you may get swayed over here, swayed over there. Always go back to stuff. That's probably why we picked up on meditation earlier. But yeah, you know, don't lose yourself. You were kids, you were more tapped in with daydreaming or your dreamer energy and fairy tales and magic, you know. You had less doubts. You had no insecurities. I don't know if you remember those times, if you've ever got to experience that before, but we want to go back to that, right? Yeah. And you can just gotta heal, give yourself enlightenment, you know. That's the only thing that really saved me, to be honest. I had to, you know, not really take things as personal and realize that people were kids like we were, innocent, pure. They just become shitty human beings, you know. And it's not validating, it's not an excuse, it's not none of that. That's why I say get from around anybody who haven't done the healing work, who, you know what I'm saying, not on that same path as you. Like if you believe in intuition and magic and spirituality and astrology, and then you got people who don't, I don't know about that. Unless they not closed-minded, then maybe. But sometimes you're not missing out on nothing. If anything, people missing out on you. So get to really understand how powerful you are, how blessed people should be to have you in their life and not the other way around. You crying, you struggling, you stressing about people who are not in your life no more, who can't sit with you if you was in your highest self energy, or if you was in that space to where you had higher self-esteem or you knew your self-worth. They would not be able to sit with you. You wouldn't even look their way. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's not on no, oh, we think we're better. Nah, it's just, it's no point. Literally no point in talking to you, bruh. Unless you're gonna be one of my students and you sit down and you shut the hell up and you listen, which they not gonna do anyway. So you're really a waste of my time. Yeah. So since I got here on my own, I know you can do the same. So I'm not finna dedicate my motherfucking life to you and say, oh yeah, I have this purpose to save the world. No, we ain't doing that. Okay? But in my heart, I feel good when I serve people. I feel good when I help people. So regardless, that's just, you know, it's not an occupation. It's just, you know, who I am. So maybe I would operate in that space, but I'm not finna train my mind to operate like that. Like, why would I do that? Then I'm gonna be around this bitch going crazy trying to save everybody. No. So sometimes you gotta let people drown and try to save themselves, because getting into that deep end, they'll drown your ass. So and it won't even be like that if roles was reversed. You feel me? You're not the one that needs to change. They are. You're not the one that needs to apologize. They are. It just don't make sense. So connect with people who won't have to apologize to you. Connect with people who can love and give and receive love, you know? Yeah, that's what happened a lot, like in history. You know, somehow all the history is lost. All the history is tampered with. That's why I kind of shriveled away from religion as well. It was many, many reasons. And then something was like the icing on the cake for me. in reality, I didn't even know that I pulled away. I never really said that I did until I had got mad at my sibling because she was telling me, you're not God. And, you know, da-da-da. Especially when I was heavily in that space of saying, you know, God is within us and all around us. You're a God, you're a goddess. And she drifted from, we grew up Christian, and she wasn't really fully into church or the Bible or anything. But I guess when something happened to her in her life, she got closer into that. But since I already was as close as I could be, the next thing for me was either get even deeper or pull away. So that's when I, you know, found out about numerology. From there, I found out about astrology. From there, I found out about spirituality. And it really, really spoke to me. And I've experienced like many awakenings, you know. And it was something that I felt really like close to. But yeah, I know I was trying to make a point with that, but I kind of forgot. So you said a lot of them get information from the Black community and then go public and take credit. That happened a lot. That happened with music. That happened in history, you know. And it's crazy because you have people who are not Black who also tell you, oh, we call this whitewashed. And I'm not being racist. The people who are not Black skinned said the same thing. I was at this Bible study thing because, like, I'm pregnant, right? So I go to these classes to get points, to get like free stuff from a baby. And Thursday was for the Bible study. Tuesdays is the parental class. And I went to the, you know, I didn't really want to go, but you get more points for going there. Like, if you go to the parental class, you only get like 5 points. And if you bring someone, then you get 4. Like, they get 4. So in total, that's 9. At the Bible study thing, you get like 10 points. And if somebody come with you, they get like 8. So 18 points. So that's why I like go there. And when I went there, I had opened up to this one person, which I stopped opening up to a lot of Christian folk because, like I said, I was once Christian, and 9 times out of 10, they just look at you like, oh yeah, you need to be saved. Or, damn, you don't believe in Jesus? That's crazy. Or whatever case may be. And it's like, not the fact that I don't believe in Jesus, but if I remember I looked at AI and it told me what Jesus was. And I resonated with it so much. But before, they weren't teaching that in the church. They was teaching some other shit. So I never really got the concept of who Jesus was, what Jesus was. But when I looked it up on AI, it said Jesus was very humanitarian, very kind, very and I was like, damn. So if Jesus was a thing, then I do believe in Jesus because I resonated with their personality. And I'm like, yo, that's literally me. Okay. But yeah, the lady there, she looked Indian, but she probably was Mexican. And she was saying, well, you know, in the Bible, they talked about that. Because I was telling her how the information has been tampered with and all this stuff. And I'm telling you, when you talking to people, sometimes they go in and out the other ear. Like, literally. That's why I literally don't care to speak how I feel, because it's similar to listen to understand. They don't listen to understand. They listen to to talk or to try to persuade you that what you're saying is false. You know, it's literally what she did too. But it was in a way that was kind of trying to give subtle. And girl, you wasn't even Christian when you was younger. You became Christian when you was a whole adult, probably in your 30s. So don't even be trying to talk to me. But anyways, she ended up saying, you know, that type of stuff, it's not really religion. And it's crazy because I'm like, well, Christianity is religion. What are you talking about? But she was saying that it's basically not a religion. I don't know what the hell she was trying to say, but she was trying to say the religion aspect of it is whitewashed. And she was trying to make it seem like the other side of it was more of a community and whatever the hell. So I'm like, yo, y'all steady making up shit? Like, it's crazy because, like I said, when I was younger, Christianity, religion, Jesus, Bible, all that is in one. Ain't no separate, ain't no none of that. Religion, honey. So they steady changing shit. As you can see, humans do that throughout the life of history. They just change shit up. Just like how we were told that slavery was way back in the day. They was even doing some shit in the 1950s. That wasn't that long ago. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, people is just so full of crap. And you got other people who are just following right behind them and then just fitting it into how they want to fit it, or whatever the case may be. But that's all I'm saying. We all bleed the same. We're all human, right? But a lot of people are not connected with their soul, with their spirit, their higher selves. So they're just lost, and they're trying to teach everybody stuff that's really not even the case. Here go a lady in here that's not black saying whitewash means cleaned up, softened, not the hard truth. Maybe in your life, in your reality, that's what it meant. Maybe you taught yourself that's what it meant. Maybe somebody taught you that. But as we know, whitewash means one thing and one thing only. And trust me, if anything is called whitewash, it does not mean cleaned up. Okay? But maybe you mean well. So I'm not gonna like come off any type of way. And I'm gonna say maybe you mean well. But I deal with a lot of people who are not my skin color who try to say, oh no, the people back in the day who were slave masters, they didn't hurt the slaves, or da da da. It's like somebody always trying to change something around, make it make sense, and y'all just don't get it, do you? You just don't get it. But that's why I try to educate people, but then again, I'm like, maybe somebody else gonna do it. Or I don't like thinking like that all the time, because maybe that's not even the case. But sometimes you just get to a point to where you just drained, tired. You don't feel like explaining things. But when the lady mentioned whitewash, she wasn't saying cleaned up, because we were already talking about tampered information. Information being tampered with. So of course, forgery, lies. So she was basically saying, no, this part is the whitewashed, the this and that, not the more clean version of nothing. Honey bun. But this message not for you, babe. Whoever resonating with what I'm saying, they get it. You receiving the message in a whole nother way, and that's not the way that I'm presenting it. So this message is just not for you, and I'm not going to change the message to fit for you. Okay? Look, and the high priestess on the back, you know what that means, honey. Sacred knowledge, esoteric information. Higher powers, secrets, mystery, even your spiritual team. So y'all know. And when you connect with people who you don't have to explain things to, or who not gonna try to, oh well, no, this is what it means. Go ahead and stay out this conversation, honey. Okay, we not talking to you. Respectfully, non-respectfully, it is what it is. Because you could be nice, you could be this, you could be that. People still gonna try you and disrespect you. So all I'm gonna say is, be you. Cutting people off, doing this, speaking your mind, standing up for yourself does not make you a bad person. It does not make you anything that they try to tell you are. Okay, so for those of you who are separated, felt abandoned, broke up with people, whatever the case may be, know that I honestly feel like you are doing what's best for you. If you're doing what's best for you, don't ever be in your head about it. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel like, oh, am I abandoning this person? Don't feel any type of way. But let's confirm this 5 of Wands. Ace of Wands. Period. The Wands energy is the fire energy, which is Aries, Leo, Sag. But aside from zodiac energy, the fire energy can tie into action and energy, right? So confirming the 5 of Wands, which is the energy of conflict, but it's in the reverse. And we already talked about avoiding confrontation. So with this Ace of Wands coming out to confirm it, I feel like this is a sign to just keep on moving forward in your power and in your, like, with your action and operating in your authenticity. God bless me. And, you know, to keep just moving forward, like, not going backwards, not holding your tongue for anyone, not trying to, like, don't do that. I guarantee you they're more scared of you than you are them. It's fine to have fear, which you never did have it before. So if you can find yourself to heal that fear, that would be great. But and then the Knight of Wands is over there, which ties to action, energy, passion, charm, fearlessness. Yes, some of y'all can be very bold when it comes to charisma, or when it comes to certain things. Like, I don't know if you ever find yourself to be around people and you're probably in this space to where, like, say if it's a bug, right? A cockroach. You would probably never be able to kill that cockroach by yourself. But imagine having 3 people behind you who's scared as hell and they're like, oh my gosh, you would probably be like, never fear, I am here. And just be able to, I don't know if you ever felt that way before, but that's beside the point, because that's a whole nother situation. But yeah, when it comes to challenges, when it comes to facing your fear, go for it. That's the energy I'm getting. Because little do you know, on the other side of that you never was able to get to because you kept suppressing your light, avoiding confrontation, not stepping outside of your comfort zone, being scared of, oh my gosh, what if this was to happen? You know, and you never got past that point of, well, I'm going to do it anyway. Well, I'm going to speak my mind anyway. Well, I'm going to da-da-da anyway. You know, so when you finally do that, you're going to realize, wow, I feel so much better. Or, wow, this has just showed me what I needed to see for so long, that this person just was not for me. Mother, brother, sister, cousin, uncle, dad, whoever. So when you're feeling creative, when you're feeling motivated, go for it. Speak your mind. Okay? You're going to be faced with challenges in this life, but you were never meant to back away from them, you know? So it says, feeling creative, motivated, restless, now is the perfect time to act on those feelings. This card is a green light to start on new ambitions and projects. So start taking those first steps into making your dreams a reality. Period. Don't worry about if you're going to step on people's toes, if you're going to become more successful than someone, if you're going to become, like, in a space to where you may, an argument may come about, or conflict may, who give a damn? Because little do you know, you're missing out on your dream life. Little do you know, you're not taking a chance on yourself, and on you're probably not thinking positive. If confrontation does happen, so what? What's the worst that can happen? You're protected regardless. Little do you know, behind that comfort zone, on the other side of that, crossing that comfort zone, is strength, completion, motivation, creativity, an awakening or a breakthrough, inspiration and enthusiasm, all great things. So you gotta stop trying to avoid confrontation or play it safe, right? No more playing it safe. I know this saying, it was like, change is scary, but what's even scarier is stagnancy. Imagine lack of growth. That's stupid scary, okay? So it's progress, not perfection, right? Be easy with yourself, but at the same time, don't hold yourself back and don't allow people who are more intimidated, you know, towards you to interfere with your life. This is your life. You are the main character of your story. Don't allow an ex, a toxic lover, a family, friend, whoever to interfere with your life, your plans, your dreams, your actions. Like what you choose to do, choose not to do, what you choose to say, choose not to say. Don't do it. Because in the end, you're going to be the one with the regrets, and they're going to be the ones that's happy. Like, yes. Little do you know it was success behind that door. Little do you know it was freedom behind that door. Okay? Don't do it. Alrighty. Ooh. Yep. See, some of y'all was in them empath and narcissist paradigms, which is like a pattern. Some of y'all was being charmed, used, so possibly love bombed, whatever, towards a narcissist. That's why y'all was being encouraged to enable boundaries. Maybe you started setting boundaries. I don't know why the word enabler is coming to mind. Hell, some of y'all got engaged or married to these people, or have some type of commitment or union with these people, partnership. And be mindful that you have free will. So let's not say God put this person in my life. No, you did that. Okay, you did that. So you gotta make healthy choices. Some of you guys, you are now making healthy choices. You can spot a narcissist from a mile away. So it's just the simple fact, are you going to apply those life learned lessons to your now? You went through all of this trial, tribulation, trauma. Are you going to keep settling? Are you going to keep allowing these narcissists to be in your space? Are you going to keep on doing it? Are you going to learn the lesson, take heed, and make healthier choices and be happy? Actually, happier. Little do you know, your smile could have been way bigger if you didn't have a lot of people in your life. So some of you guys could be making healthy choices in love and in life, or you're being encouraged to. Some of you guys could be encouraged to focus on self-love, or you already operate in a form of self-love, period. Okay. Self-care is here. Maybe you should dibble and dabble into some self-care. Maybe you're already doing it, period. Okay, but yeah, I feel like you're going to come into the energy of being happier if you are not already. And my thing is, hell, I would be happy too if I was out in them karmic relationships. Hey, honey. Y'all didn't have resentment, turmoil, getting triggered, and you wonder why you look like you dead. Because these energy vampires that are around you. No, it's not mute, hon. Maybe try going in and out the live. Yep. Things are coming to light. And it's going to be up to you to adapt to it, right? You probably never had a life so serene. Always was dealing with people who caused trauma in your life. Always was dealing with people who hurt you. Now you about to enter a space where you won't have no more people hurting you because you learned the lessons. You see things clearly. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. Period. Because change is here. You're being encouraged to heal, or you're in this space of healing now. And I feel like, of course, you have to get certain people from around you to heal anyway, because they were only going to delay the healing process, because they was going to keep on traumatizing you. Now you're ascending. I feel like you had to go through some things to the point to where you just had an awakening, to the point to where you just started operating in your higher self. To the point to where you had to release the stagnant energy and the contagious energy. Now you feeling good again. Now you look good again. And I'm not saying you was looking crazy or nothing, but you probably was, you know what I'm saying? You over here surviving instead of living. Dealing with people who are energy vampires, sucking the vitality out of you. So when you started making those healthier choices in your life, yes ma'am, now you're starting to see things are changing. Now sometimes it may get lonely when you go into the top, right? That's only for some people, because not everybody got toxic people in their life who surround their life. But sometimes, lucky you have a whole bunch of negative, toxic, low vibrational people, right? Period. Drop the dead weight. So now change is here, because for years, decades, some of y'all over 20. So for decades, you've been surrounded by these type of people. Okay, period, Kels. Done with the baby daddy. Period. Because I know Kels, you know what I'm saying, been having this problem with her. I was just like, damn, I guess I just gotta let her go through it. Same with me, yeah. Sometimes you just gotta fuck around and find out. Then you gotta be just done. You gotta get to the point where you fed up. Because sometimes you be having high hopes for people. Then you realize, wait, I'm wanting somebody to change. Did I ever have to change? Imagine being a good person already, having emotional intelligence already. So it makes sense why people don't change. That's just who they are. So when you realize, well, damn, I don't have to apologize for hurting somebody. I don't have to do this. That's because you attracted a motherfucker who went on your level. You attracted somebody who wasn't able to give or receive love. And since you know it's people like you who exist in the world, you got to remember, oh, it's not as rare or hard to receive as I thought it was. I was just settling. I was just accepting the first opportunity that came into my face. Because maybe I just wanted to be in a relationship that bad. Or maybe I didn't realize my worth at the time. It could be anything. Girl. Yes, he been a karmic, honey. I don't know if you was getting readings from everybody else. I'm sure they seen it too. He been a karmic. It was just sometimes you have to see this on your own. You know, people can tell you, your friends, your family, girl, he not good for you. But you're so blinded by love, you just like, yeah, y'all disrespecting my relationship. At this point, I'm going to cut y'all off. Cutting off the wrong people, honey. Yeah, I don't want to hear this reading right now. Having them high hopes, but eventually the mask is going to continue to fall because they can't play that divine masculine for too long. That mask going to fall off. That's just not who they are. They can't play the divine feminine for too long. They never could. It was all an illusion. You've been bamboozled. But it's okay. Because you got blessings out of it. You're cheering. Right? But hopefully we're able to break these generational curses and unconditionally love us, love our children, so they too can be individuals who grow up who's not causing trauma in the world, who, if they go through things, they'll be able to pick themselves up out of it. You know when you were a kid, you never really had that adult, that human being to be able to give you what you needed as a kid. Sometimes your own parents couldn't help you. They just didn't know how. So some of you guys have to go through these intense battles. And you over here probably like, damn, this is so heartbreaking, traumatizing, da-da-da. But little did you know that you were going to be equipped enough to save a whole plane of beings, human beings. The thing is, we all start off as children. So that's mainly when we want to really be our best selves, especially if we have our own kids. Because sometimes we don't think that we can let our kids down and that we won't follow in the footsteps as our parents. And then there you go, disappointing your kids, letting your kids down. Because maybe you didn't did something that traumatized them or whatever the case may be, you know? So sometimes a lot of things is just bigger than life, bigger than, like, sometimes the 3D plane problems are smaller than what's going on spiritually, like, you know. So these people who still need to get their damn life together, don't ever feel like you trapped with somebody. Baby dad, baby mom, sister, brother, cousin, auntie, uncle, mom, dad. That's never the case. That's why I told y'all, some people may tell you in the world, oh no, you don't get another family, you got to keep it, you know. Or, oh no, you know, that's your new family that you created. I know y'all heard some people saying, oh no, stay in your marriage, do this and do that. You listening to people who dumb as shit, okay? Who don't know what the hell they talking about. So it's not giving up on people. And hey, if it is, so fucking what? At this point, you're gods and goddesses and you settling for little boo-boo. You gotta let boo-boo, let little boo-boo go with another little boo-boo. Because you're not little boo-boo. God and goddess energy. Chef's kiss. Alright? In little boo-boo life, that's gonna be hard to come by. Because they so damn toxic and they still haven't changed. Now for you, it's gonna be very easy to come by. But you just gotta, it's a lot of things that's, you know, bigger than just trying to get in a relationship, you know. Sometimes it's building that relationship with yourself that's going to be the most beautiful thing you ever do. But imagine being in life, never really getting to see who you truly are or see your beauty for real. I remember when I was by myself, I realized just how creative I was, just how innovative, a lot of things, you know. And I was like, okay, this is nice. It made me want to be in my own space to this day, honey. You know, like the divine counterpart stuff is cool and all, but am I obsessing over it? It's like, it's giving you learn to appreciate your own space because you realize that you the prize and you're the blessing in people's life. And when that blessing comes, you know, and it's for you this time, and you're not the only one that's a blessing in somebody's life because you're dealing with one-sided connections, emotionally immature people, narcissists, etc. It's going to be so beautiful. And the great thing is that you can already see people online posting these type of things. You got the emotionally intelligent men. You got the women around here who on they, like, it's a beautiful thing to see. And then you got some of these people who are in relationships, couples. And you like, damn, this real life? Yeah, it is, buddy. It is. Okay, that's why you gotta heal yourself so you can be in a, you know, a better energy, of course. You ain't been through no little shit, okay? So you gotta heal. I know sometimes you get tired of hearing that, but it's a beautiful thing. Because if you're not in a space to where you've healed from the things you went through, you're not going to operate in your authenticity. You know? Because you've been affected. So now you're going to operate from a space of trauma, PTSD, this, that, doubt, fear, like a whole bunch of shit. So sometimes you just got to get back to self. That's really what it is. Getting back to self. We just call it healing, I guess. You're not starting over because you have wisdom this time. But it's up to you. We have free will. Sometimes we feel like, oh, it's a sign to get my baby daddy back. Who said that? Little you know, you missing out on Prince Charming, who your inner child used to fantasize about. Yes, honey. So, You know, get back to self, and most importantly, relearn self, because you was growing up operating out of society norms and all type of shit. That wasn't you. Society is crazy, honey. That ain't you at all. So you just really got to get back to self and learn the new version of you. Okay. And by all means, you always growing and evolving, but you know what I mean. So, like I said, the main message was stop the pattern, stop the breakup, makeup, breakup, makeup, breakup, makeup. And when you break up with people, give yourself enlightenment, whether it's platonic, romantic, and platonic is the connections that are, you know, very deep as well, intimate, but it doesn't involve sexual relations. So friends, family, maybe business for some of y'all. Like, if you got to cut people off, cut people off. That's why I'm saying you be getting set back because of the things that you learned in this world. You're not supposed to cut your family off. Now you're not supposed to do this. No, give them a chance. At least one more chance. You don't give them no chances? Damn. Like, what it can be like, you just gotta stop listening to people. Hey, honey. Welcome back, girl. So, yeah, some of y'all, you stop the pattern or you're being encouraged to. Some of you guys, you're unconditionally loving yourself or you're being encouraged to. You're now accessible to be in this giving and receiving energy. As you always were meant to have this and deserve this, but it's like now, after going through a lot of things and learning those hard lessons, now you become into the space where you really cut people off. And you really get into the space where you like, yeah, this ain't how I want my life. I'm not seeing no change. I'm not da-da-da. That's because they not going to change. Maybe they'll change, and by the time they change, you'll already be with your person you meant to be with. Because what king, queen, God and God is going to wait around for somebody to change? If you hurt me, baby, bye. You get no more chances. Because I didn't have to get a chance. I didn't have to ask for your forgiveness. I didn't come in the connection hurting you. So you just want me, because I love you, to forgive? Motherfucker gonna say, but what about the history? You really my best friend. Get your dumb ass. Get him up out of here. Somebody get this nigga. Okay, because what is you talking about? What is you talking about? Like, they just try to say anything, honey, to keep you. But look, Queen of Wands, you standing in that power. You're confident. You were naturally confident. You know your worth. Maybe some of you guys are getting your confidence back, or you just realizing who the hell you are. Yeah, it don't matter you have history, it don't matter you have kids, it don't matter if that's your dad, your mama. It don't matter. That's what's toxic about it, because people always trying to make it, they always trying to tell you some shit. And they don't know what the hell they talking about. Why would I stay in a connection that mentally, emotionally drained and shattered me? You got to be dumb. Or I got to be the boo-boo the fool. And we've been boo-boo the fool too many times, honey. That's why you got to stop listening to other people. That's why I don't like projecting on people my damn self. If I have a belief, I ain't finna tell the world it's true. Because it may just be true to me, hell, and not to everybody else. Yeah, I didn't been projected on before. That's why I was dealing with fucking battling with my damn beliefs, hell. And that was the most stressful shit ever. So, yeah. Y'all are coming into change. And you're doing things differently. Or you're being encouraged to. Or you're going to keep seeing the same results if you don't. But for those of you who finally started doing things differently, you're going to see different results. Now, maybe some of y'all started doing things differently within your love life. But maybe within life overall. Or in other areas of your love life. Because it doesn't just have to be romantic connections. Because remember we talked about avoiding confrontation? Stop doing that. Alright? But like I said, I don't want to repeat myself. If you guys didn't really get to see the beginning, middle, whatever the case may be of this video, it will be uploaded to my YouTube. As you know, I always drop them gems. So, it will be uploaded to my YouTube. Any more messages? Of course. There's always some messages. 3 of Wands. Period. Preparation, expansion, enterprise is what this card says. You can also think of moving forward. Your ships are coming in. Anticipation. It says after the planning period of the 2 of Wands, because as you know with the tarot, it's like a story. Ace of Wands. Oh, and the Ace of Wands is here. 2 of Wands. 3 of Wands. So after the planning period of the 2 of Wands, we're now on the 3. It's time to put those plans into action. Open the doors of opportunity to broaden your scope. Start thinking long term and be ready to embrace change. Yes, honey. The new is here. Now it's time to be accessible to it and to welcome it. Okay? The 2 of Wands is not out here though. So maybe some of you guys, you're needing to plan, right? You probably skipped that part. Or maybe it's just not out here. But yeah. 4 of Pentacles. Yep. Budgeting, saving up for huge purchases. Needing to let go of greed if you got that in your energy. Needing to let go of really anything that no longer serves you. Yeah. Yeah, this is really stepping out that comfort zone. Knight of Swords on the back. It says you are strong, driven, and ambitious, and perhaps embarking on new ventures. However, do not do so in haste, where you are so focused on your goals that you are blind to obstacles. Do not do so in haste, where you are so focused on your goals that you are blind to obstacles. So plan. Take your time. Patience can even be key. Of course, take action, yes. But remember, we don't want to do anything hasty. We understand you're a very strong, driven, ambitious person, honey. When some come to mind, oh yeah, I'm on it. But you know, plan. Put things in motion. Think clearly. Like I said, we already talked about the greed energy. Holding on to things that, like, it's giving simplify your life. Everybody can't come. You can't bring every damn thing. Maybe some of you guys are trying to save up for huge purchases like a home, a car, stuff like that. Yeah, so I'm seeing that happen for y'all, but it's just like, you know, sometimes if you're not planning, make sure you plan. Make sure you play smart. Make sure you budget, save. Make sure you open the doors of opportunity as well to broaden your scope. Remember, we talked about how the first thing that comes, if you're in this obsessive, you know what I'm saying, type of energy, then you may just go after the first thing that comes. But whatever is for you, it won't miss you, right? Now, there is a thing as delays and missed opportunities, but at the same time, whatever is for you will be for you. You don't have to, like, play smarter, not harder. All right, plan, think before you act. But yeah, action is encouraged. Just think before you act, okay? They ain't saying that to scare you now. I'm just reading the messages. All right, but yeah, stay out your head too. I already told y'all that. Stay out your head. You be in your head all the time. All right, excessively. Yes, honey. Some of y'all on that path of the pentacle. Like, you may be doing something in a routine manner, or you may just be on this path of riches. But don't lose sight of what's most important, because money gonna come, honey. It's whether you're rich or poor in this world, that don't really matter. It's always something bigger than that. But I'm sure the universe wants you to have it. The universe not stingy now. But sometimes finances is not the only important thing in the world. It's really your happiness. You know, wealth doesn't just have to be finances. All right. I feel like this message want to go in a different route, or maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just doing that. People watching, girl. People watching. It's probably a damn karmic relationship. We ain't talking about them no more. Okay? Like I said, stop the patterns. You're doing good. If you focusing on self-love, self-care, that's great. Okay? Change is here. You know, put yourself out there. Open the doors of opportunity up. Stop restricting yourself. Get out of this mental prison. All right? Forgive this person as well, because sometimes you cut somebody off, you start focusing on letting go and loving you, but sometimes you still carry resentment. Sometimes you still may find yourself to have some type of something towards this person, addiction, some. Heal from the codependency, heal from being controlled or dealing with narcissists, love bombers, heal from the triggers and the turmoil. You know, you did go through that. You did experience that. It wasn't a pretty thing. You didn't deserve that. I feel like you went through things in your life before and you just got over it. But in reality, you didn't really get over it. Time just went by. And, you know, back in the day, I don't really think we knew too much how to heal. Or what the hell healing was. Until you probably become spiritual. So, just deprogram to reprogram. If there's any patterns, seize all patterns. So far, I feel like y'all are doing good, though. Especially if we resonate. I feel like we do if you're in this collective. But yeah, know that you're not powerless. Know that you're not restricted from anything. And that you're only causing that yourself. It's all in your head. Okay, maybe somebody need closure. Maybe this person pulling on your energy or something. Yes, we are, honey. Yeah, toxic people. They trying to reconcile. Family, friends, ex-lovers. They trying. But I feel like y'all about to meet somebody new. We finna get into that new. Okay? It's a beautiful thing because you deserve true love. And it's not hard to obtain. Okay? I used to think it was rare and hard. I used to even say that. But it's not. Oh. Yeah. Not a new crush. Girl. Shit. I don't know, honey. Oh, they like crumbling. Yes. Yes, honey. I guess it's a beautiful thing. I guess we all in different parts of our journeys. See me? This is time for myself. Soul contract. Ooh! Soul contract came out in the reverse, honey. I believe that even if cards come out in the reverse, they can still resonate some type of way in the upright, but we gonna read that in reverse. Yeah. Yeah, that is nice. Because I did see that this was going to be somebody who was going to be into you guys and only you guys. And we ready. Because the universe said, you said what back? Child. So look. But no, I mean, you know, I'm chilling. Because I need to give my little heart a break. But, what's that Bruno Mars? I'ma keep the door open. I'ma leave the door open, honey. But, I'm gonna take this time for me. But for the collective, maybe y'all in that energy feeling frisky. Did I use the right word? I don't know. Maybe y'all ready though. Or some, you know, to an extent for some of y'all. But whoever this person was that you felt like it was a soulmate, but in reality it was a false soulmate. You feel like it was some type of spiritual union, maybe some twin flame or some shit. No, it wasn't. Alright, this one-sided relationship, they're going through like a lot of chaos. I don't know if y'all care. But the messages is steady trying to come out. So I'm going to just read it. Somebody, they can't find a job or they lost their job. Maybe for some of y'all, this was you. Being around certain people, hell, you probably feel like you was cursed. Getting they damn karma. Everything crumbling around in your life, too. You like, what the hell? Whole time it's because of them. Some people probably was wishing things on you. Because like I said, this don't have to just tie to romanticism. This can be friends. Shit, you probably had friends in middle school that don't like you still. And probably was like, they probably seen you on their social media. You know, people you may know looking ass. Yeah. That's a little too specific. But maybe it's exes too, honey. But yeah, I liked how the, ooh. Okay. He blacked and gone. I'm not gonna blame. Okay. Ooh, no contact. See, they trying to get y'all to come into contact again. But y'all didn't look. Block. It say block. It say block, silent treatment, cut off all communication. But they don't like that. But see, I feel like some of these people, they feel that. They feel it, and they starting to reflect in their life. They like, damn, maybe this was a good luck charm. Because life is horrible. As if your life went horrible before the goddess and the god came in your life. Stop lying. Okay? They ain't believe in magic or something. Because what the hell? Ooh! New love. New love. Okay. Calm down. Some of y'all back on the market. It's giving I'm F-R-E-E. Free. Demi, I ain't gotta worry about no cheat. Yeah. And y'all got options. Period. I feel like you're not gonna put all your eggs in one basket. But you back on the market for sure. New love is here. And this is gonna be somebody that you private with. This is gonna be somebody that dress real nice too. Y'all gonna be going on coffee dates and shit. We're gonna have to change it from coffee to something else though. But okay. This cute. Okay. Yo. Okay. Yo, when you're not dealing with little boo boo, next thing you know, oop, the ex. Child, my phone about to die soon. Child, the ex. We got love triangle, ex in question, unfaithful. So maybe this could be talking about more than one person. Or it could just be talking about that one ex, honey. But the ex, why are they still trying to pop up in your energy? Well, it's probably because for some of y'all, this baby dad, baby mom type stuff. But for others of y'all, why are you here? Oh, never mind. Never mind. They always come back, honey. So I see why they still here. Okay. Yeah, see, some of y'all activated that little soulless entity. All right? You brought some passion into their life, some chemistry. So they miss you, really. I don't know if you give a fuck, but they miss you. We don't care. We don't care. Let's talk about the new love, okay? But they keep coming out here. Ooh. Surprise visit, reaching out in person. Liar, deception. What the hell is this? Yeah, y'all went through too much. Double life ass shit. Red flags. Oh yeah, pay attention to them red flags. Because some of y'all, whoever this new person is coming towards you, once again, we don't want the first thing that come all the time. That girl said eggs expensive now. Oh my gosh. So unfollow them on social media. Is that a question, honey? You most definitely should unfollow them. I ain't gonna tell you what to do though. Pull up the whole damn cell. That's probably, that's probably why you seep back into reconciliation. You throw away the gifts. I don't care what it is. Throw it away. Block them. They be alright. Yeah, honey bun. You gotta unfollow them. Cut all ties, especially if it's giving red flag. See, you compromising probably. It says compromising, making amends, positive outcome. It says red flags, signs, cheating, deception. See, that's what narcissists or whoever the hell this is like to do. They like to know that you still give a damn. They like to know that they still have a chance. They like to know that, they can still have some type of access to you. You gotta cut off all access. How the new gonna come in? So, no contact, honey. That's probably why that no contact came out in reverse. David. Okay. But somebody probably gonna try to pop up on you. That's why I'm saying the disrespect. Y'all got people still thinking they can pop up? That's a no-no. That's what I'm saying. See, somebody probably just gonna, man, I just got to see you again. Restraining order. Everybody doing them restraining orders, honey. Just gotta, ain't nothing to it but do it. You know what I'm saying? That gotta be your motto. Hell, people was out here living double lives, being a damn liar, deceiving you in a whole nother relationship. They leave you, or you leave them, and they talking to somebody else? PTSD. Okay? They is not worth nothing, honey. Ace of Swords, you know that though. You know that. Let me tell you. You out here, you know that. Okay, what the hell we talking about him for? Next, let's talk about the new person, please. My phone died. New person. New person. We already know the ex is a no-no. The ex is an ex for a reason. Yes. Ooh, make it rain. Honey, they gonna have money. Let me read it. Manifest in abundance. Legal matters in your favor. Unexpected money. Promotion. Entrepreneur. Okay. See, once again, I don't know if it's gonna be that first person that see you and that you see. Y'all connect. That's why you gotta take your time. Get to know somebody on a soul's level, honey. Because you gotta remember, they keep on that mask. Okay. But You've obtained a lot of wisdom. So I don't think you're gonna let somebody fool you twice or 30 times, okay? I feel like you got it this time. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But look, I feel like because them standards is back high, you know your worth, you're loving yourself, it's change in the air, you know? So I honestly do feel like, yes, the bums is still gonna be bumming, but I don't feel like you're gonna give them the time of day. So maybe this person, the next person, that you talk to is probably gonna be worth your while. And it's probably because you're gonna be really, I don't wanna say picky type shit, but you're gonna be careful. Plus, you know the red flags. Because, you know, it's not fun getting your heart broken. So, girl, head was knotted on up, honey. So, yeah, period. Ooh, deuces. It says fed up, cutting ties, walking away. That's what I'm saying. See, some of y'all, you done with the ex and you done with people that's like your ex. We ain't dealing with the same people in different bodies. Period. That's why you coming in here with this abundance. Even your partner gonna be abundant. That's what I'm talking about. Stubborn, because you ain't letting up. You like, nah. My standards is high. I don't want little boo-boo. I don't want nothing like it. It says bossy, selfish, inflexible. You ain't changing your mind. I don't care. You know who you are. And you probably being a little bit more selfish with your time and your energy here. I don't blame you, honey, period. That's what you do. It says power, force, victory, mental clarity with the Ace of Swords energy. Look, opposites attract. This is probably going to be somebody who is not your usual type. Makes sense. We don't want nobody that was supposedly our type before. Okay? You probably have different spiritual beliefs than this person, or maybe this damn ex steady coming up out here. I don't know, because it do say lessons. It could be anything, though. All right, any last messages to wrap this on up, honey? Stop. No, new person. New person. New person energy. What's the energy with the new person? It says truth coming out, drama, scandal. Oh, this person been through similar. Yeah, okay. They've been through similar. Unless some of y'all gonna attract the same person in a different body. So be mindful. But for others of y'all, this is just gonna be somebody who really went through the things that you went through. Baby, they trying, honey. Damn. Get your ass on. They don't want to give up. But I don't blame them. I don't blame them. But anyways, drama, scandal, truth coming out. Drama again, addictions, love, hate, relationship, breakup, distance, separation. Okay, we're going to put them down. Because them cards, we're going to put those down. We're going to get these. Okay, period. So when this new love come in, it may not be coming tomorrow, right? But I feel like that's only because, you know, you need some time. You know what I'm saying? To still thaw out a little bit or whatever the case may be. But lightning is here as well. Whenever it do happen, it's going to be very shocking. It's going to be very surprising, right? Okay? It's going to be like a sudden change. So it may just come out of nowhere. So right now, yeah, I do feel like this is your healing period. Confirmation. Okay. So maybe you are back on the market. Maybe you are dating. But honestly, honey, this is a time for healing. Okay. But whoever this person is, it's gonna happen suddenly. I don't feel like you're gonna see it coming. I don't feel like you're gonna see it coming. Ooh, engagement. Okay. That's what we like to say. This ain't gonna be nobody who's easily seduced either. They're not gonna be obsessive. They're not gonna be a lust demon. Okay? I'm telling you, because they didn't been through the same. They didn't also been bamboozled. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like they got the common sense God gave them. And I feel like they have morals, integrity. Shit, you probably come across somebody that got some sense. Like literally emotionally intelligent. A person of chivalry maybe. Please, we're baking on that. Okay. Okay. But yeah. This damn phone, if you tell me one more time that you about to die. Okay? But anyways, this is gonna be somebody who you probably start off as friends first. Or maybe they're not gonna love bomb you. So that's really good. Maybe this is somebody who's gonna have boundaries, therefore they respect your boundaries type shit. It's giving healthy, okay? When you think about it, it's giving healthy. When the real fight, yes, honey. We're gonna make a book about that. When the real find the real. Lovely. But yeah, this is starting to go off more specific into like other stuff. But in the beginning, we weren't really talking about none of this. So the whole reading was not based on this, by the way. It was actually pretty good. Informal. Other stuff. Look, not enough. See? Okay, we're gonna put these down too. It says frustrated in relationship, lack of confidence, self-sabotage, fear or ego issues, jealousy. That's probably this person. Yeah, y'all was attracting somebody who didn't really feel like they were enough anyway. So you was already dealing with somebody who was feeling very insecure. So it wouldn't be surprising if you started feeling insecure as well. Damn, 10 of pennies in the reverse. Okay. Oh, okay. It's given after a major downfall. I don't want to really say failure. Maybe some of y'all, this could even been like a lump sum of money being stolen or something, like an inheritance or something. But aside from that, because with this Knight of Pentacles here and the Six of Wands, I just feel like you getting back the things that you deserve. But it's probably, you probably working a little bit more. It probably wasn't being handed to you. You probably had to get it out the mud and reach this point in time. But that's why you're going to be even more successful. You know what I'm saying? So whatever didn't work out in your life, with family, with foundations that you probably tried to build, with money situations, I feel like, yeah, I feel like you're going to get all that back and then some, especially because some things was done against like an earth angel, against like a good person who did not deserve that, you know? And I feel like with us having our own free will and people being shitty people, like sometimes life don't go as fair for people like you, right? Sometimes life could be simple, easier, but then you got people who probably make it a little harder for you. Whether that was in love, whether that was, once again, somebody stealing your damn inheritance or something. Bankruptcy, something. But I feel like y'all are coming out of these times, or you're being encouraged to, you know, look at things from a different perspective, right? And I don't feel like this was one of those situations of it's not happening to you before you, but it can be like that. You can really apply that to really any and everything. But I honestly feel like something was meant to happen for you, but maybe it was just some type of injustice that was done. So I feel like regardless, the rewards, the success, it's here. You may have already been experiencing it in different forms, in different ways. Or in the near future you will. Okay? I don't feel like it's going to take 10 years to get there though. But yeah, you know, don't become depressed. Don't feel like, oh my gosh, and fall into this energy of stagnancy. And, you know, from being so tired and drained, like it seems like every time I try to do something, every time I try to achieve something, every time I try to obtain what's mine, it seems like I'm taking a step forward, going 3 steps backwards. Things don't be working out for me, whatever the case may be. ain't even supposed to look like that. But for some of y'all, it could be a situation where it's not happening to you before you, but for some of y'all, it's just some injustice happened for sure. But I feel like with y'all even still striving and not allowing this to affect you, you know, to the point to where you probably blame others or you just give up. You like, yeah, that's the energy. You're not giving up. Man, you're going to see something really beautiful. We got so beautiful. Yes, honey. Yeah, I dismissed him and we're always friends, but we're crushing on each other. Kels, girl. I'm not gonna play. I don't know if he the one, girl. Oh, I'm not saying that he not. But I'm just saying this is a time to heal, you know. So just continue to be friends. And if it's meant to be, honey, it's gonna be for sure. Remember we had talked about like haste. So just apply what you've already learned. If you want to put yourself out there, honey. But just looking out for you, you know. So take you guys' time and focus on yourselves and build that relationship with yourself. That's the most beautiful relationship you can have, for sure. My phone on 4%. I don't know yet, but I'm healing it. I'm not gonna play. Well, girl, have fun. Not too much fun, okay? But the good fun. All right. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, and just really enjoy yourself. Enjoy being free from bullshit, especially. Damn. But yeah, whatever didn't happen for you, something bigger is about to happen for you, especially because you did not give up. You did not choose to say, you know what, F everybody, I'm finna be a horrible person now. Or whatever the case may be. Just because you started being selfish with your time, your energy, your resources, that don't mean you're not a good person. That's just what happens. You know, you start respecting yourself a lot more. You start really realizing your worth and your value. And realizing that, why would I put all this energy, etc., into everybody else and not myself? Why would I continue to do these type of things for people who already showed me that they're a waste of my time? Look, the Lovers on the back of the deck. This can tie to major choices as well. So it can tie to love, harmony, passion, relationships as well, soulmate energy. But yeah, I feel like y'all are attracting somebody that's going to choose you, love you, etc. But y'all, I'm gonna have to end this live because my phone on 2%. So I appreciate you for coming in, getting, you know, some of those messages. I'll see y'all another time. If you ever want to sign up for any sessions, readings, you can always message me. You can check out my website if you would like. But yeah, once again, if you did not see the beginning of this message, honey, I'm gonna need you to see this message, okay? Bye, honey. I'm gonna upload it to YouTube, okay? Of course, I appreciate you as well. All right, but I'll be on here later. I'm gonna let my phone charge and stuff like that. But thank you guys for double tapping and gifting and all that. All right, I'm gonna see y'all later. Returning your energy back to you, releasing my energy back to me. Stay safe and dangerous. I'm F.